If you truly want to understand a narcissist, you have to stop looking at their words and start looking at the internal map their mind is operating on. Because what you are dealing with is not just a personality, it is a distorted system of survival that is constantly trying to protect a fragile core from exposure. Their brain is not processing reality the way a regulated person does. It is scanning for threat, control, and validation at the same time, and everything you say or do is filtered through one question: does this protect my superiority or expose my inadequacy? At a deeper level, what sits underneath all of this is unprocessed shame. Not normal guilt, but identity level shame. The kind that says something is wrong with me all the time, and their entire system is built to never feel that directly. So the moment they are held accountable, it's not just a disagreement for them, it triggers that buried shame circuit. The brain reads it as a danger. The threat system activates almost instantly, similar to a survival response, and instead of reflection, you see denial, deflection, blame shifting. In a regulated brain, the part responsible for reflection and self correction would step in and say, let me evaluate this. In a narcissistic system, that pathway gets overridden. The emotional threat center fires faster than the reflective system can respond. This is why accountability never lands. It's not being processed, it's being defended against. When they rage, what you are witnessing is a full nervous system surge. Their impulse system overrides control. Stress chemistry rises, and their ability to think in nuance collapses. They move into black and white thinking because their brain is simplifying reality to regain control. In that state, they're not trying to understand, they're trying to dominate the situation and discharge the internal pressure that got activated. At the same time, their reward system is wired in a way that they feel relief when they regain control. When they confuse you, silence you, or flip the situation back onto you, their internal tension drops. That relief reinforces the behavior. So the cycle repeats. Why? Because their brain has learned that control removes discomfort faster than accountability ever could. And this is the core dysfunction. The emotional system is intense, the shame is buried, the threat response is overreactive, and the reflective system is underprepared. So they do not process experiences, they defend against them all the time. They do not integrate truth, they restructure reality to avoid it. This is why appealing to their logic, empathy, or fairness keeps failing, because you are speaking to a system that is not designed for mutual understanding. It is designed for psychological survival. Until you see that clearly, you will keep expecting depth from a structure that is built to avoid it. I'm Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to my channel. Today in this episode, I'm giving you 8 tools to control a narcissist's mind, so stay until very end. Number 1, starve the narrative, not the person. More than attention, a narcissist wants to become the center of your life. They want your mind occupied by them all day. So make them feel as if they mean nothing to you, as if they are dead, as if they no longer exist in your world. Do not argue, do not defend, do not connect their version of events. Let their narrative exist without resistance. The absence of friction removes their sense of control because they were not seeking truth. They were seeking space inside your mind. Make them feel as if they mean nothing to you, as if they are dead, as if they no longer exist in your world. And that is what destabilizes them the most. Because for a narcissist, invisibility is not silence, it is psychological death. And the moment they lose the place in your mind, their entire sense of significance begins to collapse. Number 2, replace reaction with unreadability. Most people try to stay calm. That is not enough. Calm can still be read. Become unreadable. No micro expressions, no tonal shifts, no emotional leakage. A narcissist scans constantly for just their manipulation. When your internal state becomes inaccessible, they lose the ability to calibrate themselves around you. That creates silent panic because what they truly rely on is not your emotion, but your predictability. And when they cannot read you, they cannot position themselves. And without positioning, their control mechanism begins to malfunction. Number three, break the cause and effect pattern they so depend on. They operate on predictable loops. Provoke, get reaction, gain control. Interrupt this loop in unnatural ways. Respond late, respond sideways, or do not respond at all where a reaction is expected. Then respond instantly in moments where they expect distance. When their pattern recognition fails, they feel disoriented. Their confidence drops because their map of you stops working. And once that internal map breaks, they're no longer interacting with you, they're guessing. And a narcissist forced to guess feels exposed, unstable, and far less powerful than they appear. Number four, remove emotional time travel. A narcissist controls you by dragging you into the past. You always are projecting fear onto the future. You will never or you will regret. Stay aggressively in the present. Only respond to what is happening right now. Do not defend your past self. Do not negotiate your future self. When you remove time from their manipulation, their leverage shrinks drastically because their power lives in distortion across time, not in reality. And when you anchor yourself in the present moment, you remove the emotional space where they usually expand their control. Number five, detach value from their approval system. They believe they are the source of validation. That belief is their throne. Quietly build a life where your decisions, emotions, and self-worth are not influenced by their approval or disapproval. Do not announce this. Let them notice it. When they realize they cannot reward or punish you into compliance, they experience a deep loss of power they cannot openly admit. Because at that point, they're no longer shaping you, and a narcissist who cannot shape you starts to feel irrelevant. And irrelevance is something that ego cannot metabolize. Number six, use strategic indifference, not constant distance. Total distance is predictable. Predictability is usable. Be selectively indifferent if you're still in touch, sometimes present, sometimes unavailable, without explanation, not as a game, but as a refusal to be patterned. This creates a psychological gap they cannot stabilize because they cannot categorize you as controlled or lost. And what they cannot categorize, they cannot control, and that uncertainty slowly erodes their confidence in how to approach you at all. Number seven, refuse the role they assigned you. Every narcissist assigns roles: the fixer, the emotional sponge, the villain. Your control begins the moment you stop performing the role without announcing it. No confrontation, no speech, just non-participation is needed. When the role disappears, their script collapses. And without a script, they do not know how to relate because their connections are not relational, they're functional. And when the function is removed, the relationship itself loses its structure. Number eight, and the last one, let them experience themselves without you buffering it. This is the most powerful and the most difficult. They rely on you to absorb tension, regulate emotions, and soften consequences. Stop doing that. Do not rescue. Do not explain them to others. Do not absorb their discomfort. Let them sit with the exact impact of their own behavior. What they fear most is not losing you, it is facing themselves without a buffer. And when that buffer is gone, even briefly, they come face to face with the very thing they have spent their entire life avoiding, which is not accountability alone, but the emptiness underneath everything they constructed. So let me know in the comments below which one of these have you already employed or you think you can use in your situation and how. Your experiences may help others, and I also invite you to book your spot for my workshop that is happening on March 28th. It only happens twice a year. The topic is how to break your trauma bond with a narcissist in 5 practical steps. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.